Hi, I'm Felicia and I'm in the process of posting a series of videos which highlight failings within the NHS that I have experienced over the last 12 years in regards to my care and raising awareness about the systemic issues that I have faced in an attempt to seek urgent intervention for myself but to prevent these failings from happening to others. This video is about the falsifying of my records. Over the last year and a half, my GP practice has been falsifying, amending and manipulating my records in an effort to conceal my suicide risk and to cover for an abnormal scan that was not actioned. These incidents are putting my safety at risk and they are dangerous. This video also serves as an urgent call out to the ICO and to the CQC for intervention, not just for my safety, but for others too. I fear for other patient safety who this may be happening to. I'm going to recount the incidents one by one, and then I'm going to gently touch on the laws that these incidents breach. Incident 1, retrospectively amending records. In July 2022, York Hospital did an MRI scan of my neck, and it came back abnormal, showing abnormality in my buccal fat pad and in my pyrogoid muscle, but this was not actioned. On the 27th of July 2022, my GP entered into my record, scan abnormal, to be expected, no further action. 18 months later, on the 8th of December 2023, I confided with a psychiatrist at Princess Road Clinic, Malton, about having seen this comment and the mistrust that it had bred in me towards my GP, and the sadness as well. 2 hours after seeing the psychiatrist, my GP locked me out of my System 1 TPP account. I was locked out for 5 days. When I regained entry with a new password, I saw that they had amended this entry. They had added no review applicable. This is shifting the blame to York Hospital, but they added no note about why they did this, who did it and when. On the 29th of March 2023, I attended A&E at Scarborough Hospital for help with suicidal feelings. The partner at my practice, who I have never met or spoken to, falsely entered that she did 2 depression reviews with me either side of this visit to A&E. She has recorded that she did a depression review with me on the 23rd March 2023 and on the 31st of March 2023. I have never met this woman. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she looks like. These depression reviews did not happen. They are false. On the 17th of May 2024, I attended A&E at Scarborough Hospital again for help with suicidal feelings. The secretary at the practice entered on the record, seen at A&E, ongoing episode, suicidal feelings. 3 weeks later, that record disappeared. The partner deleted that record of me attending A&E for suicidal feelings. Now, I didn't take a photo because I hadn't become Sherlock Holmes at that point. But this photo shows that that record is not there. There is nothing on the 17th of May now about me attending A&E. On the 3rd of July 2024, a few months later, I spoke out on social media about the fact that they had deleted this entry. And that day, the practice added an admin note to the record, which I believe covers or backtracks this deletion. On the 10th of June 2024, 2 months later, I attended again A&E for suicidal feelings, and the secretary at the practice obviously could see that the partner had deleted the previous entry. So bless her, she entered it twice. She said, seen at accident and emergency, suicidal thoughts, and then the second one said, seen at accident and emergency, suicidal thoughts, mental health assessment. 2 weeks later, the partner went in and deleted one of those entries. There was only one left showing that I had a mental health assessment. When I took to my blog, My Facial Pain, to record this deletion, the practice then re-entered it. There is no note anywhere of the deletion and the re-entering of why it happened. And if you saw the record now, you wouldn't know that there had been a deletion, but there was. In late July, I developed a rash on my right arm. I sent an email to the practice with photos asking for a cream. They said that they were going to speak to the clinical pharmacist for his opinion. 3 weeks passed, I didn't hear a thing. The rash got worse, so I went to see a dermatologist privately, who gave me a request form to give to my GP for some cream, which I did. They prescribed the cream, but on the 17th of August, the clinical pharmacist entered that he'd seen me. There was a record saying, seen by clinical pharmacist. I've never spoken to this pharmacist. I don't know who he was or is. This is another false entry. On the 27th of August 2024, I attended York Hospital A&E for help with suicidal feelings. The practice entered in my record that I attended A&E for an ongoing episode. There is no mention in that record of why I attended A&E or what that record was. There is no record of me going for suicidal feelings. Again, I went to my blog and wrote that they'd omitted critical information to conceal my suicide risk. And 3 weeks later, they had added suicidal feelings ongoing episode to that entry retrospectively. And it makes it appear that it had been there all along on the 27th of August. This is how the record now looks. But you saw before that it wasn't there. They went in and retrospectively amended it weeks later and didn't put the correct date or any note of them amending it. On the 7th of February 2025, I sadly made a suicide attempt, which was followed by years and years of abuse from different healthcare NHS trusts, and the result of living with chronic pain for this long, coupled with some of these incidents, it backed me into a corner, and I sadly made an attempt to end my life. I was found unconscious on a golf course and taken to an A&E department where I was admitted for 48 hours, and they administered something called IV NAC. This was at Cramlington Emergency Hospital. When the practice recorded my suicide attempt, they put seen at accident and emergency. This again is an inaccurate record that downplays my medical crisis. I was not seen at A&E. I was admitted. There was a hospital admission. It should say hospital admission. Late March, they went in and added an admin note again, which obviously explains that, but they put it as recorded on the 12th of February. It wasn't there on the 12th of February. So these are the incidents that have been happening. Firstly, they are a breach of good medical practice, which states that record keeping must be accurate, open and honest. Records must be contemporaneous, meaning recorded at the time of the event, and that they must be clearly dated and entered who made the record. These incidents are a scandalous breach of data protection laws. Article 5.1d, accuracy, says that records must be correct and honest. My records have been falsified, amended and manipulated. Article 5.1a states that records must be transparent, truthful, honest and correct. And Article 32, which is a security article, says that all data must be processed securely. Well, if my records have been tampered with, then they're not secure. Article 171 also says it's a criminal offence to delete and re-enter information. So these incidents are a breach of the law, but most importantly, they are putting me at risk, and they are misguiding future professionals from seeing the scale of the crisis that I am currently in. This is a serious concern to me, not just for my safety, but I am concerned about the safety of others, about how many more patients this could be happening to. I'm putting an urgent call out to the Care Quality Commission and to the ICO for your help and your intervention. I'm not safe. I'm not being protected by this practice. They're giving me no help. They've not phoned me once, even since my suicide attempt, to see how I am. And they're manipulating my records. They need investigating. So I'm asking the CQC to please intervene and investigate this practice. But more importantly, I'm pleading to the ICO to please reach out to me. I urgently need an audit trail doing of my records to see who is behind all these incidents. But also, most importantly, I need my records putting right independently so that they are an accurate reflection of what is going on for me medically, which they currently are not. I'm asking you both to please come forward, not just for my safety and for my protection, but for the well-being of future patients. This could be happening to others. We don't know. Something is not right at this practice and it needs putting right. So I'm asking you please to come forward. And anyone that sees this video who has also experienced falsifying of records, I ask that you please retweet this, share it, add tags, add hashtags, anything to try and amplify my message. Safer healthcare starts with accountability.